Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is the horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Capricorn. And our card tonight is the Page of Pentacles. All right. Ooh, squeaky, squeaky. Okay, let's take a look and see what this beautiful bowl of tea leaves has to say. Let's take a look. Oh my goodness, immediately I see we have a rooster right here, right in the middle. So there seems to be kind of an alarm going off. Some kind of important message is going to be coming through here. I can already feel it. And so also, before we get really into things, if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. And yes, it is always free to subscribe. I have a members tier as well. Only one. I think it's, maybe like $1.99, $2.99, whatever. I never mention it. I always forget that it's a thing, but it is there. I know people have asked me before about it. Also, we have that like button that you can hit. That really does help the channel. It helps, kind of makes the algorithm a little happier. Also, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. Absolutely, I do. And what else? Yeah, if it's your first time, definitely shout it out in the comments. All right, let's get back. So we have the rooster cock-a-doodle-doing early in the morning saying, let's get up. Pay attention to me. So definitely a sense of, that moment, that awakening, the strike of suddenly I'm aware that something is going on here, right? Okay, let's see. Now we have a 3. I'm going to go 30. 30 right there. Okay. So that is, not only is it an important number, but it is also touching the rim here. So it tells me this is the most sacred number for you. This is something that is tied to the divine in some way. Okay. So it is particularly meaningful. All right, so we have a person standing right here. You can see the head is here. Here is the body, okay? You can see looking off to the right of the screen over here. Now over here, it looks like we have a skeleton. You can see the skull. Here are the eyes, the nose, the mouth. Kind of looks like it's bending over, kind of in a dancing mode. Here's the arms, the body. Yes, it's not super detailed, but you get a general idea. So this really does, it reminds me of the maiden and death motif. This is a, medieval kind of theme, right? And engravings, lithographs, and that kind of thing. And this really is something similar to kind of the feeling of the memento mori, or even kind of the vibe of Santa Morte, right? This acknowledgement of course, that death is woven into every aspect of our life, right? The moment that we are born, we come into the flesh, and we are in a world that is in continuous transmutation. And part of that transmutation is the decay, the dissipation, right? The breaking down of forms. And so, yeah, we're ever present in death. Every aspect of life. From the leaves that are deteriorating, beneath your feet, to, just us ourselves going through our seasons, and, everything kind of in between. So, I look at this and it is a reminder, right? Not that death is knocking at your door. No. That's not what this is about. Although that certain motif, the maiden and death, you sometimes see the maiden, you could even kind of relate the maiden to, of course, Virgo, right? Dancing or being kind of stalked by death. In this period of time, there were, quite a lot of things that went on, sicknesses and environmental things, factors that caused, ailment, famine, and so on. I mean, there's lots of different things. And so, yeah, this is an even more present energy within this artwork. And because in these times, not like they are now, as an individual, you would participate in the process of death and dying and caring for, the person after they had transcended. And that means, there weren't necessarily like funeral homes and things. It was right in front of you. It was something that if, a family member transcended, that yes, you would prepare the physical form. You would be part of the burial and all of this kind of thing. So it was something that was not far away from the mind, right? But when I see this, it's not, I don't feel that there's nothing happening here where it's like, okay, somebody is passing very soon or they just have, but it is a reminder, life is short. Life is short. Life can be quite brutal. Life, often is a series of things we don't want to do or responsibilities. Like I tell my daughter, and this comes from a mama that has, I have ADHD. So I tell my daughter, she's 4. So we're working on this. But life is a lot about waiting around. There's a lot of times where we're just kind of, waiting for the doctor, waiting for DMV, waiting, to pick the kids up from school. A lot of times where we have to be patient, right? There's these transitional moments in our life, and if you could imagine, and this maybe don't cry when you think about it, but how many hours have you spent in traffic? If you could think, how many hours have you done this every day? And add that up, week by month by year. And so we have to prepare ourselves for these moments in life, because there will be many. make use of those times. Whatever that looks like for you. But, you know, so often we just continue to go through the motions, right? We're just kind of autopiloting through it. And then we have that alarm. It goes off in our mind and we think, my goodness, suddenly I'm, 35 years old. Suddenly I'm 56 years old. Suddenly I'm 78 years old. And what have I done that is meaningful to me? Have I lived my life in a way that, feels at least somewhat remarkable? Have I followed my dreams? Have I met my goals? Have I abandoned those over and over again? For better or worse. Sometimes we do. We need to abandon our dreams, our goals, our plans, right? At least once you need to. Do a big one, right? It's good to know what it feels like to be wrong. To realize, okay, I've been dedicated to this thing, and putting all my time and effort and money into it. And yeah, maybe it's not going to work out. Maybe this isn't even what I want to be doing with my time. Maybe I'm really good at it, but it doesn't mean anything to me. I don't feel anything anymore when I'm doing it, right? I think this happens a lot when we go to school. We go to school so young, we go to college, we get our degrees, we go into the field we think we want to. And, 10 years later, you think, I chose my whole life when I was like 15 years old. I put so much money into this. And now what? Right? And now what? And it's okay to say, I chose incorrectly. That doesn't negate the work you've done or the experiences you've had. It just means that you want something else. It's not what you maybe thought it was, or maybe it was and now it's not. The color has been drained of it. It feels gray, You're just kind of moving through the hours and minutes of the day. And when we see these motifs where death, where Saturn, where, the old father kind of shows up, these are reminders. That clock, it is ticking, right? And that's why we see death or Chronos, with the hourglass, because it is. So what will we do when we remember ourselves? What will we do when we become painfully aware that the hour is getting late? Don't stress about it. Try not to, at least. But what will we do? What actions will we take to move towards the things that, make us feel that we can become immersed in? Now, I think about this a lot. We're kind of in a culture where, and this is worldwide, it's not a global culture, I would say. We're kind of in a culture where we measure pleasure and ease as kind of the pinnacle of, success. We get into this place where we can be so very leisurely and kind of do as we want and seek out these, kind of sensations and indulgences. And maybe that is what life is all about. I don't know though, right? Because I think so often we run towards that. We look for it, we try to make it happen, and it almost becomes a little too much, right? And or it doesn't feel like anything at all after a while. And so we have these moments and we realize maybe sometimes the fulfillment comes in the hard work. Maybe it comes in the struggle of things. Maybe, when we have to really, really dig in and apply ourselves, this is where, especially as a Capricorn, right? This is where we feel so much ourselves. We're not kind of idling through this, It's like, if you can imagine, just being at a ball forever. Or I guess I'm thinking of some Edwardian period film or something. being at the bell all night long, or the ball all night long, the bell of the ball, dancing and dancing and dancing. And then it starts to become like, all right, this is it's a little much, right? It's like, I don't know, what is the equivalent now? Going to some kind of club or dance party, or, being on vacation forever, where, yeah, that sounds like it would be great, but at some point the novelty of it all wears off. And so I do feel, and listen, we have these repeated memories, right? So kind of, and they are all over the place. It kind of is this feeling of the Divine Mother, of this understanding that we have. And one of my favorite examples is Kali, which usually she's on the table. Right now she's not. But the goddess Kali, who is a mother, right? She is a fierce warrior. She is the destroyer of demons. She maybe looks like a demon, right? She has to ingest the demons to stop them from multiplying. Okay, so she takes on kind of this ferocious kind of imagery, right? But she is the mother. She is the destructive aspect of the divine feminine. That thing, here we call it like mama bear, right? You'll protect your cubs at all costs, right? That's Kali. And on top of that, right, we have this other side of the mother who is kind of more, if you could think of like Gaia, the Queen of Pentacles, this Earth Mama vibe, the builder, right, the creator of the nest, of that most earthen place of incubation and emergence and growth and to thrive, to absolutely, find oneself in the peak of it all, fully bloomed and just alive. I mean, I can't just, if you can imagine, a bush of tropical flowers that are just so vibrant and gorgeous and lush and just, it looks like when there's a little breeze, it looks like they're breathing, the whole collective. And these are the mother. This is the mother in here. And so, the old father we maybe think of as the bringer of the the beginning of dissipation, right? The dissolving, or as things begin to break apart and deteriorate. Well, the mother is the one that purifies. The mother is the one that brings life and keeps the place in functional order, keeps things tidied, cuts away what does not belong, what is not of service, does the shadow work, right? Stands in the face of terror. And so I see this in here, and it ultimately tells me that, yeah, maybe you're in a place where you're thinking of your life. What have you done? What haven't you done? What will you do? And that can begin to feel a little bit oppressive, if you get stuck in that place. But when we have that kind of lifeblood of that mother energy, the sustenance of the divine mother, it is impossible to stay still. Right? The fire is lit. There is that creative stream flowing through your life, and the ability to create the resources that you want, right? So we have the Page of Pentacles. This is a archetype that is devoted, loyal, and motivated. In the Thoth system, this would be the princess, right? And so if you can think of kind of a very able, clever, crafty, I'm trying to think of, not sly, but intuitive, and mindful, and able to kind of navigate, play kind of the if life were a game of chess, the princess would be an emerging master. Okay, so you absolutely, I feel, and this is so Capricorn, really so good at making things happen, right? And with all of this said, you have moments where I feel that you become so aware of whatever you have been in, whatever you have dedicated yourself to, maybe your career, your family, your household, building your life up in such a way, and you can get very focused on particular things that you're working on, getting that raise, or the project that you're working on. Maybe you hope to make a certain amount of money and you've met that goal, but you keep pushing because you can make a little bit more, you can whatever, and it takes a lot of your time. Your life is devoted to it. But then that rooster goes off, and you are brought to consciousness, and you think, my goodness, have I neglected other parts of my life, right? Have I missed out on things that I had maybe hoped to do? Am I really, really in the thing that I'm in? Or am I kind of just doing what I've already gotten good at, and I'm just kind of on this loop, right? I don't know. But I think these moments happen. They're like little revelations in our life, and we need to have them because, otherwise we slowly and maybe even almost imperceivably become stagnant. Okay. All right. Now let's take a look. The number 7 is important. 30 we had from the beginning, and now I'm seeing 7s. We have a T. Repeated 3 times. T, T, T. So we have 3 T's. I think it's just kind of repetitive versus actual 3 T's. We have the illuminating candle right here with the flame right there. we have a person kind of, I imagine, looking up at the sky, maybe at night, maybe during the day. Don't look at the sun. But yeah, looking up at the sky. And I feel like this is kind of, it's symbolic of reimagining, right? Really kind of allowing yourself, and this is what we talked about earlier, was sometimes we have to put down our dreams. We have to put down the goals that we had that no longer kind of make sense to the, the life that we thought we wanted. And sometimes we have to go back out there and really look up at the sky and think, what is it that I might actually want to do? What is this other part of my life going to be? Especially if you are getting to that part of your life where you might go post-work, right? Retirement, or, maybe working a lot less, or doing a different job that maybe, suits you, your schedule, your abilities, and so on. But there are times that we need to reevaluate. And I think that this is where we're at, Capricorn. We're reevaluating things. All right, so we're going to do the Whispering Woods Oracle cards. And then these ones are the Woodland Wardens. All W words, right? Whispering Woods and Woodland Wardens. And I'm going to do one of each, and we're going to see how these kind of go with the reading. So I'm just going to flip through and stop where it feels right. And it says, adventure, live wild and free. Live wild and free. Good luck, Capricorn. This might be the toughest assignment for a Capricorn. Just straight up hard. Okay, let's see. We're going to flip through. We'll stop where it feels right. And it says, the bee and the pomegranate. Productivity. Yeah, well, this one, very much Capricorn. Also, love the pomegranates. My next change of the table, I'm pretty sure is going to feature some pomegranates. I've been dreaming about pomegranates lately. Where I grew up, they just grew all over the place. In Northern California, people had them in their yards, and I lived next to I had a neighbor for some years that their pomegranate tree came over the fence, and it would drop them in the yard, and they would also give us them. Pomegranates, and I just remember how delicious and messy and lovely and indulgent they felt. They remind me of late summer. All right, so a productive adventurer. That feels like a tall order, but I know that you can do it. You can get into that adventure mode a little bit, right? And maybe that's where the dreaming, reimagining comes in. All right, Capricorn, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you, because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps the channel a lot. If you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. It is free to subscribe. And if you want to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you, especially if you're new to the channel. Definitely shout it out in the comments. All right. With that, I'm going to tell you again, Capricorn, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days. Good night. Good night. Good night.